All right, and now we're rolling. Gallegation, would you be so kind as to introduce these teams?
Sure would. All right, here we go. So tonight we are playing the Good Game Kids is the first team versus Armada Gaming. And Good Game Kids is a team that their mission is kind of to maintain a positive atmosphere where people can improve their play and have some fun at the same time. They want to maintain a competitive team and push for victories in clan wars. And they want to just, in general, help the future of esports through the Good Game League that they're creating, general participation in community events, offering training videos, articles, coaching, and from some of their best players in their academy. So they've got a lot to offer. We did not get, I don't think, any team information specifically from Armada Gaming.
No, we did not.
We do have some information on the first player that will be coming up from Good Game Kids is Sad Vertical, and he will be facing against Death Row. So Sad Vertical is he started playing StarCraft when it first came out. He got into StarCraft 2 from his dad, who was a Brood War player, and it took him a long time to get into Masters. He got stuck into Diamond for about 2 years, and he just finds it hard to kind of move to the next stage of every league. But he keeps pushing forward, and apparently he won a couple of tournaments when he was bronze. So those bronze gaming leagues, he took home the championship, the gold for the bronze. And as I said, we didn't really get any information from Armada Gaming on their team or their players, so unfortunately I won't be able to introduce you to Death Row as much as I would like. He is, however, a Protoss player, I believe. Is that correct? No, he's a Terran player. Sorry.
Yes, this is a PvT we're going into.
Yes. So, without further ado.
All right, as you said, without further ado, let's get right on into this game. It is a pleasure, folks, to jump into our initial game of Season 2 of SC2CTL, featuring our players. On the upper right-hand corner, wearing the blue, he is from Team GG Kids. His name is Sad Vertical.
And in the top left-hand corner, representing Armada Gaming, it is Death Row.
And I do have to take a second just to check out these awesome new clan tag logos here in the game. It is pretty cool. Armada Gaming has a skull spider, it looks like, which is pretty sweet. And GG Kids has their logo as well. Check them out, that, as it says on there, GG Kids, goodgamingkids.com. Check out all the teams, follow them on Twitter. I know GG Kids has one. I don't believe Armada does. It's at Good Gaming Kids, I believe it is. So check them out. And this is going to be on Habitation Station, which is a ladder map this season.
So Death Row opting to put his first supply depot pretty far away from his ramp. He is not going to be walling off this time. Now putting down that barracks and has it rallied straight into his opponent's base, so he's going to be sending out that Marine to do some scouting. Looks like Sad Vertical's probe did a little bit of scouting around the main base, just making sure there's nothing hiding from his view.
Yeah, those Proxy Reapers are definitely still something the players are watching out for. It looks like he's checking a lot of the corners. He didn't really scout the back all that much there. It looks like he's maybe just going to be moving out through the middle. Both players kind of doing the same thing at the same exact time. Going to high five at the watchtower here. This is a pretty interesting map that we've seen a lot of cool games on in WCS with this gold high yield out here right in the middle. A lot of interesting plays you can do to take that early, but also pretty risky as well. So why do you think, Gallegation, that Death Row put his buildings in this way? It's a little bit different than usual.
Yeah, it looks like there's a pause there. So the supply depot is placed there almost certainly to keep an eye out for any drops that were going to be coming in. And as it's much shorter by air than it is by land, it makes sense to try and prepare for that, as Protoss has very strong air. So it makes sense for Protoss to kind of go towards that and try and surprise his opponent with some speedy air play as opposed to trying to charge the front.
It's like an engineering bay going down here at the natural expansion of Sad Vertical. I'm going to call him lots of different things, I'm sure, but that's going to prevent him from expanding. Probe coming down looks like going to be trying to do just that, but sees that engineering bay there. Knows he's not going to be able to get that done when he wanted to. Zealot going to come down and whack away at that a little bit, but he does have a probe down here, sort of at the 9 o'clock position, maybe to put down a pylon eventually, but we'll see. Death Row does get down his command center, so he's going to be wanting to take a little bit of advantage, but it looks like a Reaper was just taking a pass through Sad Vertical's main base there.
And Reapers in this state of the game, everybody knows it who plays. They are irritating as all get out. It looks like that Mothership Core is in a pretty decent spot to be able to chase him away, but the Reaper is going to try and get around if it can get some pokes in on that Zealot. And sure enough, the Zealot is being pulled away. The shields are down, now taking some hull damage. The Mothership Core was focusing on that engineering bay, which did go down finally, and now they can focus their dual efforts on the Reaper.
Reapers are just really strong, because even if you don't get much damage done, which if you make a lot of them, you kind of can. I mean, they really nerf the damage down, but if you get a decent number of them, you can really do quite a bit of probe damage. But he gets such an easy free scout there. I mean, at that timing, pretty much only the Mothership Core is out. You don't have stalkers yet, really. You can just kind of poke through and see what all the timings are, all the gas timings are, and get quite a bit of information. And now that Reaper's still going to be a little bit of a pest here. It looks like this is a new Reaper coming through to check things out as well.
But Sad Vertical's ready for it. In the meantime, he has a proxy pylon with a proxy gate going down, so that that single supply depot isn't going to be much value, as the airships are going to be coming in from a different direction.
You know, and it's interesting too, because I feel like the whole Reaper aspect of the game in the current state has really sort of forced this proxy gate situation. You know, a lot of people are just saying, oh, Oracle's so good, so Protoss always does proxy gate. But I honestly feel like you have to, if you want to have any kind of sneaking ability at all, to use the proxy gate to get the Oracle out, because you're pretty much going to guarantee that you're going to have free vision inside your base for quite a while.
So now the Mothership Core from Sad Vertical is coming in, checking out that supply depot, doing some damage, pulling those Marines somewhat way to the back. He's getting those out of there now. Time Warp Oracle comes in and is going to be cleaning up a lot of this, but oh, there's so many Marines, is it going to get them all down?
Oh, so close. Yeah, I feel like he knew exactly what he was doing with that Marine count and that Time Warp, because that last Marine just kind of came in on the tail of that attack there and was able to clean up that Oracle. But a lot of quick early damage done by that, and now prompting some towers going down in the mineral lines.
Sad Vertical, at the same time as that was all going on, did try and put some ground units up the front of the ramp there, but that bunker full of Marines was able to chase it off. We do see the Mothership Core moving forward, trying to get some vision on, but there is a siege tank there as well, and that splash damage is brutal.
And he was able to get the vision of that siege tank with the Mothership Core. Now moving his probe down to the bottom, just kind of hanging out. The Stargate is there. Looks like that's going to be idle for quite a while here, but in the production tab, Immortals coming out as well, some shield upgrades and sentries, so he's definitely going to be going Robo Gateway focus here, just kind of using that Stargate for a bit of utility in the early phases. Oh no, I seem to have lost Galligation here a little bit, as Skype is freaking out on me. Are you back?
I am back now. That was a little awkward.
Skype, and third base now coming down at the gold from Sad Vertical. He's kind of, you know, seeing that his early push there didn't really get much done, going to try and take this gold, but that SCV does attempt to get through to get some scouting information, but is not going to survive, walking right underneath that Mothership Core. So for the moment, that gold expansion is a secret.
And Death Row just does not have a whole lot of information. Even this Stargate here is still secretive. He doesn't know that that's there. So really, Sad Vertical just kind of has complete map control here.
He is sending around some SCVs to poke around. Does stay just outside of the range of that pylon there. Not sure what the intention of these SCVs are. Looks like he's just kind of scouting around a bit, trying to see what's going on. War Prism now is moving out, and it looks like it has a few stalkers and a sentry in it. So going to do some harassment there. He did see that he had the front lines pretty well defended, so doing this little bit of aggression on the back will maybe pull some of that away. But the SCV now is coming up the gold expansion, so he does know that's there.
But it is finished, so it is taking him some time. The Immortal coming in to clean up the SCV. So now Death Row realizes that he's kind of got to make something happen here. He's going to be behind economically as a third gold expansion is up, and he's just now going to be landing his orbital command on his third, which is not gold.
And now the drop coming in from Sad Vertical back here with 3 stalkers and a sentry, getting a few SCV kills down there, but the Marines are going to come back with a couple Widow Mines to push that away. but that warp prism will live to see another day. Looking at the workers killed, he did get 5, so not a huge amount, but enough to make a little bit of a difference if you're a counting man.
Wow, and he is moving out with a lot of things here. Now keep in mind that stim is just about to finish up. It's a pretty late stim. He does not have combat shields. His infantry weapons level 1 is just about to finish as well, so he's a little bit behind on his infantry upgrades, but he does have a decent amount of tech.
Looking at the units, Sad Vertical does not have an observer, oh, he does have 1 observer now. So he is going to have a little bit of detection for these Widow Mines here, but he's doing a nice job of spreading them out as he moves up the ramp to this 3rd base. This is going to kind of pinch him in here too, but he's going to be targeting down that Nexus. Warp-in comes in, but the pylon goes down, cancels that warp. He's going to get a lot of damage done here.
Oh, and great job by baiting those mines to be able to move in with the Immortals. Sent in some hallucinated probes to take the shots, and now is going to be able to clean that up. He did end up losing that expansion, but is immediately putting it back on.
Yeah, and now Death Row has 3 mining expansions to the 2 of Sad Vertical, but an Oracle does pop right in here to the 3rd base. Going to get quite a few kills here. It looks like he hasn't noticed it right away. Does have a little bit of a delayed response, but loses 5 or 6 SCVs as the Marines stim themselves down the ramp to chase that away. Meanwhile, a medevac drop coming across the top of the map. He does not want this gold expansion to go down. He's going to boost in, drop those Marines on there. He looks like he will be able to get a cancel on here with the stim before Sad Vertical is able to respond.
Oh, but that did not get canceled. He just got killed.
Ooh, that's sad. That's bad news. Bad news bears, but at the same time, Sad Vertical is moving into the 3rd base of Death Row. Looks like they're doing a little bit of a base trade here. A lot of Stalkers, good number of Mortals too, forcing that command center to lift up and pull back. The ramp here still has somewhat meager defenses on it, just some bio and that bunker. No tanks left at the moment after that one big push, but there is another drop in the main base of Sad Vertical as well with a bunch of Marines and some Marauders.
And there was a little bit of resistance here, but the forces of Death Row were just able to clean it up. Those infantry units with those medevacs, they are difficult to deal with, especially when you're only warping in a couple of zealots at a time. Those Marauders slowing them down, just getting picked apart.
And GG. Really, at the end there too, the big thing was, I mean, he just pulled all those SCVs down and was able to repair that bunker as fast as it was getting attacked. So bunkers are quite powerful from what I understand, as we see there. So very good game by both players. It wasn't any really huge engagements. There's a lot of small pokes here and there kind of from both players.
Yeah, and the biggest engagement there was basically when Sad Vertical was pulling back, trying to defend his 3rd base. Just great positioning there by Death Row, though. He set up those mines to cover his back and was able to kind of move in with his Marauders, with his Marines, with those siege tanks, doing a lot of damage, able to get down that Nexus, and all the while, the army of Sad Vertical was trying to get by the mines without losing everything. He had to hallucinate in probes, walk them out, and that, I mean, those are only seconds, but those are precious, precious seconds. So the score goes 1-0 to Armada Gaming. We are moving into the next game, which is going to be Lightning versus Dashed Hopes. It's going to be a PvP.
Yeah, and it looks like in-game name is Button, so same person, slightly different name. Is me and King Sejong Station LE. And before we get into that, we're going to pause and take a 30-second break here while we run a quick commercial, and then we will be right back and get this game introduced. So hang on just